Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for the season 9 finale, the part 2. Is it possible to love more than one partner and equally on this week's the Discipline Therapy podcast? And we have a returning in studio guest. Yay!
Oh yeah.
And we also have a guest caller on the line. But before we start any of that, you know how we do. We got to clear this energy.
Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know you're fiends and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free.
It used to be.
Because we're on Patreon now. Exclusive
Yay!
content, behind the scenes, bloopers,
People yawning on our show.
bonus episodes, not special editions. We'll have some special editions, regular YouTube, but bonus episodes. Like yeah.
Any future events that pop up, Patreon will be the first to know about it,
Yes.
and then everyone else.
So God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food, and I have sometimes that vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy podcast.
We're here.
All right, so today we also have a special guest caller. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead.
Did you hear the topic?
Yes, I heard the topic.
All right. So, and can we get your thoughts on that? Do you think it's possible for people to love more than one partner? And if they do you think it's possible to love them equally?
Yes, I think it's possible for people to love more than one person, but no, I don't think you can love everybody equally.
Okay.
Polyamory has become kind of like a hot topic, hot button.
Hot
issue.
commodity.
I wouldn't even say issue. Yeah, it's definitely popular now.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you are capable of having multiple meaningful, deep, fulfilling relationships. But the one thing about polyamory, and I'll say they always preach being equitable instead of equal.
Now, what gender do you believe would be more successful at it? Like, who do you think can handle having multiple partners?
I'm not being biased, but I think women.
Okay. And do you think love is unconditional for men and women?
No.
Who has more unconditional love?
I think women give more unconditional love, but I think men's love comes with conditions.
Do you think is that why women would be more successful at it?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Do you believe that is why women would be more successful at it?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I think that not having conditions on love. Let me think about that, because some women do put conditions on love. I think both men and women can put conditions on love, but I think women are more capable of loving unconditionally, if that makes sense. But I think that's why women are more successful at it.
Do you know many women who are in poly relationships?
I know a few people close to me, yes.
Okay. And do you know men as well? Or do you do you know both genders that are in poly relationships? And
yes, I do.
And are they both like happy in it? Shoot.
Probably another topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you ever believe people fall out of love or stop loving someone?
Could you say that one more time?
Do you ever believe people fall out of love or stop loving someone?
Yeah, I think love is in cycles. You fall in love, you fall out of love, you fall back in love again. I think that's kind of how it works. I mean, you're not always going to like the person you're in love with. Sometimes, you're like, what, I really don't like you right now. I still love you, but I don't like you. I'm not feeling you right now. So I think it definitely comes in cycles.
Are you speaking subjectively?
Yes.
Okay, so Interesting. Because you said women are more inclined to giving unconditional love. So if you're falling in and out of love, all right, let's keep going.
Well, it's not just women, it's men too.
Okay. Go ahead, Joe.
If men are designed or born to procreate, why do you think most women, not all, but they can't understand a man loving more than one partner?
I think it's selfishness. And I believe that people make their partner loving someone else about them, and it's not really about them. So you're, instead of looking at, okay, my man has a capacity to love multiple people, it's more so, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not enough?
You're saying that's how women think?
That's how some women think. Yeah. Some women who are not. My best friend is a prime example. Lord, I hope she doesn't hear this. But her most recent her ex-boyfriend, they just broke up recently. And he has expressed wanting to be poly. And she has said, you know, she feels like she's not enough for him. She said, I feel like I'm not enough for him. He's not happy with me. I'm inadequate. And I'm like, but you're making this about you. It's not. It is about you, but it's not about you. It's more so a him thing. And he was unable to express that to her in a way that it made sense. So she just internalized it. She took everything as it was a problem with her. And I said, I don't think it's a problem with you. I think he just is not putting all his eggs in your basket. He has eggs in that basket, but he also wants to put eggs in other baskets. I said, it's not about what you're lacking necessarily. It's just, you know, he also has the capacity to love other people, but she just could not wrap her head around that.
Now, if loving more than one person is a big responsibility, do you think you'd be able to handle it?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. And what gender would be comfortable handling a lot of responsibility, do you think? Men or women?
Honestly, I want to say both, but in different ways, if that makes sense.
Okay.
If you have to pick one.
Oh, gosh, you're going to make me pick.
Both is just the easy answer.
I think, well, I would say men. I would say men.
Last question. Is it easier for a man to find a good woman than it is for a good woman to find a good man?
I think it's easier for men to find a woman that will stick it out with them.
So that's a good woman to you?
Doesn't necessarily mean she's a good woman, no. But she'll stick it out with him. A good woman is not hard to find. It's like a good man is not hard to find.
A good man is
especially today.
But a good man is... Wait, hold on. Let me just understand. I'm sorry. You said a good man is not hard to find?
No, I said a good man is hard to find.
Oh, okay.
Just like a good woman is hard to find. But because there's more women than men, men have more opportunities to find a good woman.
So it's easier for men?
For the sake of the conversation, yes, it's easier for men.
Okay.
Do you have any final thoughts, comments, disputes, agreements?
Disputes.
Final thoughts?
Well, I would say that more people need to do more research before diving into the polyamory pool. I think folks think that, okay, I'm able to date multiple people and I want to do that, or they're in a relationship and they decide, hey, we need to spice things up. Let's bring in another woman. That's not what polyamory is. And I think it does more harm than good when people have that mentality about it. There's a lot of books out there that people can read. There's a lot of groups. Sometimes the groups on like Facebook and other platforms, you have to weed through a lot because there's a lot of people doing stuff their own way, putting their own remix and stuff. But I think it matters to do your research and to really kind of dive into why do you want to be in that love style? Why is that something you want to do? And if you're a couple, can your relationship really withstand that? And why do you want to do that? Because so many people, I could go into a whole bunch of stories about different couples that have approached me about joining their relationship.
Oh wow.
And oh yeah, it's not. I got stories for days on that. But yeah, I just think people need to just do the research and really do the inner work so that you're not out there hurting a bunch of people.
Yeah.
While you're trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, that's some good
But
advice.
that's it.
That's some
my
good
last little
advice.
tidbit.
I like it. Thank you for being on the show. You had a good few words at the end. Nicely done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, cool. We're gonna get into this with us on the panel. I
Great.
just know that she couldn't be on for that long, so I was just like, you know what?
I would like to say that maybe Gabriel and I should switch seats. That way, you know, there's no fist flying or anything like that.
Man, that's
Right.
well, he was here last time. We didn't have
And
that.
it got a little. We saw the show.
No,
Nah,
no.
it's just passionate debate. That's it.
Yeah.
Passion. All righty.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get it going. Let's get it popping.
All right. So
Since I am the lady of the group, I will go first. Is it possible to love more than one partner and equally? I do think it's possible to love more than one person, but I agree with the caller. I don't think you can love somebody equally. Well, I'm gonna put me, and that is only romantic relations. Like you can love your children equally because I do. And there it is.
I think it's definitely possible to love more than one person, but I don't know about equal. I think like how the caller said, it's more equitable. You know what I mean? So like you got most people have like a primary partner, and then they got some like side partners that they either share or is one for you, one from however many. You know what I mean? So
However,
I think
the rules that you guys made.
I think there's a hierarchy to
Interesting.
the closeness.
Okay.
yeah, I agree. It is possible. Y'all like staring at me. See, what is he gonna say? I see y'all in the corner of my eye. I want to know what he's gonna say. It is possible. Equally, it depends on the caliber of that person.
Of
You
who?
know.
Wait, the person loving?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, as far as equally, because it becomes subjective now with the love languages. So if he or her definition is different from my definition, then it's right for them.
Mm.
You
That
see
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying? So if love is about, like, let's say it's a man, right? And he has two women. And if his love language, like I can provide equal love, is synonymous with my time, providing for y'all, like maybe paying both of your bills, providing protection, education, teaching, guiding, instructing, like this is what I want you to do today, this is what we're doing. He's taking charge. And if he feels that's his love language, dominance, he can provide that equally. And he's like, yo, I'm loving them equally.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So now it's so intricate, right?
Well,
But what do you
think?
think? Do you think emotionally though?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like there's a difference between like actions, like loving somebody in actions and loving somebody in emotions. Like you could
Yeah.
do the same for two people, but have a preference for one.
Yeah. So see, you're right, but now it's like it's subjective on that person individually, because now we're adding emotions, right? Let's say I believe being vulnerable psychologically, emotionally are like venting to her. I always say vetting and venting. I'm always doing it because I constantly say vet your partner, vet your
Yeah.
partner. Rarely say vent. So you're venting, like it's not like you're complaining to your woman, but you're just like, you know what, you had a stressful day, and you want somebody to listen. Like I don't want solutions.
Mhm.
Just be quiet there and listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is therapy for me. Just be quiet and listen. So he's venting to her. That's vulnerable. That's vulnerability.
Right.
So it's like if he does that to both, like he told her and then he called her and told her the same thing, it's like he's loving them equally.
But who does he go to first?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that I think it.
I think it
it
does.
kind of
And
matters.
y'all retarded to your own opinion doesn't mean it's right.
He's like,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a way, it's like, it could be okay. It could be technically right. He calls one. Let's say they both live in different states. All three of them live in different states. He calls one. They don't answer. He calls the second one. Or the second day he wakes up and he's like, let me call her first or whatever. I don't think it really matters.
I think it could
Mm.
change, but I think in that moment, whoever you thought of first might be more appropriate to call. I don't know if it necessarily means you love them more, but I feel like if it's a consistent thing, like this person's always the first person you go to,
I
Then
there's
agree.
a preference.
Then
I
maybe,
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like when you hear good news, who do you think of that you want to tell it first to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if it is possible, what gender do you believe would be more successful at it? Oh, I said I was going to go first, right? More successful at having a poly relationship. I think I have issues understanding the question, so I'm going to just answer it like this. I think a man having two women would be easier than a woman having two men.
I agree.
All these things are to me subjective
Mhm.
because now success is subjective. So when you say you don't understand the question, what is your definition of success in a relationship dynamic? Is it the duration of time? Like, yo, he been doing poly or she been doing poly with the same individuals for 3 years. My God, I keep seeing them together. They ain't break up yet.
Yeah,
No,
but
I-
if they're happy,
If
though.
that's if
Yeah.
that's success, that could be success to somebody.
No.
Happiness can be success for somebody. You see how
Yeah.
subjective it is?
Yeah.
If you understand, because now you could be like you said, unhappy and with them for
For
a
a
long
while,
duration of time, or you could be happy with them and it's like, but I know this is gonna end soon.
Why would it end soon? Why would it be like that, though?
Because just because somebody's happy with somebody else doesn't mean it's something that they really need
That's
at
true.
the
That's
time.
true,
Like
that's
there's some
true.
women out there, right? Just jumping on topic, then we'll jump back in. There's some women out there who can't live with a man. Like
Mm.
they need just come over, give me dick, don't spend the night. Like I can't live with a man. And then there's other women that are like, yo, I need a man around constantly. Like every time a jar is tight, tire blows up, like I need a man around. Then they go back to the first one where there's women that are so broken and there's so much unhealed trauma, they really can't live with a man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They can't even live with themselves.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like now, man, like I throw these little brain teasers.
Which one is it?
It is, if it's possible, what gender do
Well,
you put
okay.
on?
I think my definition of a successful relationship, whether it be poly or regular, is the quality of the time that you spend together and being on the same page. So if you're not both of those, something's not going to work out. Either if the quality's not good, you could be together for 10 years, it don't matter. It doesn't mean it's successful.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the same page, it could be,
Like
I'm
similar
happy with
interests?
them, but this isn't for me. So
Mm.
in my opinion, you need both to be successful. Just like
Yeah.
you could have all the money in the world, but you're not happy, or you could be happy and
Right,
have
but
no
what-
money.
Okay, so
What
now that
gender,
Neither is
though?
successful.
yeah, so now that we said our perspective of what we think success is, what gender?
I think men overall would have an easier time because I don't think a woman would find two men who are gonna be cool with sharing her as easily.
That's why I ask these questions, brother.
Yeah.
Cause I know these answers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the both thing. That's why I told Cole, you gotta pick one. Which one would you choose?
Yeah, even if it's for the most minute reason, I feel like you have to choose one.
Yeah.
Is love unconditional for men
Hold
and
on, Sue.
women?
Which one will be more success?
I said already. I said men. I was the first
Oh,
one to go.
okay. So we all three agree.
Isn't
Yeah.
that odd?
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Can I continue? All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
Exactly.
sometimes she forgets we got a show. Like she just thinks we're all in a bubble,
We're
bro.
just
Conversation
talking. We're
right
just
here.
having, that's
The
how it
camera's
should
not
be.
on. There's nobody
Camera.
else. Like they probably want to know.
Let me tell you something. If I keep remembering, oh, we're in front of a camera, I'm gonna just keep looking at the camera and forget what the hell I'm supposed
That's
to be saying.
good. That's
Yeah.
good because
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
when you
what?
do the
Yeah.
shot when you do the shows live, multiple.
You're making me nauseous. See, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, is love unconditional for men and women? Okay. I say yes, it is, but unconditional for their children.
Shouldn't the guest be going first?
Man, you're not
Yeah.
really a guest anymore.
Yeah.
You've been on the show already a couple of
I'm
times.
the OG.
Sorry, guy.
Oh shoot.
I'm
No,
the lady.
I don't think so. I think I disagree with the caller. I think men give more unconditional love than women because men are expected to provide. Men are do all
Oh,
their jobs
God.
unthanked. Men barely ever get a, oh, you know what? I really appreciate you doing that. Or you look really good today. It's very rare, and we just got to eat it because that's just how men are. But women, you know,
I quit.
if a woman goes a week without getting a compliment, it's unheard of.
It's
And
most women.
I'm not saying that they crave it. I'm saying that that's just what society puts onto women. They get, you know, compliments and they get
Taken care of.
provided for, and maybe they do some providing too. I'm not going to discount that, but that's men's roles in society. Like society views men as the provider, so we kind of have to have like a thankless job.
Mm-hmm. And if providing is his love language, he's loving her. You know,
What if it's not his love language?
I'll let you go first, Sue, and then I'll talk
About what?
Is love unconditional for men or women, men and women, or is it just one?
Is love unconditional for men and women? I think that both can love unconditional, but like I said, I can love unconditionally. I can love my children unconditionally.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Maybe,
Yeah.
and perhaps a pet.
Oh,
No, I
are
got
you
favorite
kidding
pets.
me? Nah, love
Hell
my
no.
animals.
I got favorites.
I love my animals more than I love my kids. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I would probably have favorites for kids. By the way, I
Oh,
don't
shit.
think it's possible. I think you could definitely have favorites for kids. I don't
No.
buy that. I think that's just the parents'
I-
bullshit.
you know what's crazy? I agree with him. That's crazy.
I
We on the same
quit.
page today.
Yeah.
Better than the last show.
Very in sync.
Yeah, me
You know,
too.
so-
It's a man show today.
So
So why you big me up for?
I'm equal.
think about it. Like I've thought about the same thing, and this is the first time we're having this conversation about this,
Right,
and we
yeah.
agree.
The favorite child. I mean, the parent that loves the child more.
Yeah, I believe that. My parents have 4 kids. I'm one of the 4, and I know I'm not on the top of the list. They're all like most of the my siblings. They've either reverends now or whatever it is. Well, Johnny, you know, I brought him on the show. He's
Well, he's kind of
yeah,
following your steps with the black sheepness.
yeah.
Johnny.
But originally, it's like I'm the black sheep. Nobody else has tattoos. Nobody else lives the BDSM lifestyle. Like, you know, so I know I'm not on top of the list because I was supposed to get in that reverend path, and I was rebelling against that.
Yeah,
Still am.
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So I know like I'm not the favorite, and I'm cool with that. So I believe that. This is for men. Like I agree with Gabe, not women, and I'll explain why. Women love men conditionally, and this is how they love them because they're all different types of women. I'm gonna say all different types of stuff. You are a financial provider. Love to me is you buying me groceries, paying for my classes to go to school, paying my bills, buying me a car, house, whatever. Financial provider. I love you. Like you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, like that's your love language. Then you got a woman who I love his character. He don't have to have money, whatever, but the way he makes me feel, I love him. You know, it's this guy got probably the best dick around. He knows how to fuck me. In the past, I had men who didn't know how to handle me on a
In the bedroom?
sexual aspect. He manhandles me, whatever. He digs into something dark and lets out that aggression, and I love it. I love him. You understand? Like you have all different types of women that love men for different things. And it's like men, I believe, love women idealistically. He's like, yo, I could love her. You know, she might wear a little bit of glasses, might be a little boring. I know she got a little freak in her or whatever. A lot of men think she's boring, but I think she got potential. I could love her. She got a little toxic tendencies. I could train. A woman is like, the guy with the fitted suit comes into the bar. Hey, Who wants me to rub their ass tonight? Do you got a big dick?
Oh my God.
Do you make money? Do you even know what you're talking about? Do you know the female anatomy? You know where the booty is? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna question because he got to bring something to the table to inspire her fucking with him.
Mm.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas men, they could just be like, being visual creatures, look at that IG model. I'm so in love. I want to provide for her.
Well, I think that's conditional though, because if that same IG model goes through like some sort of accident and now she don't look the same, are you still gonna love her the same? Like, I don't. A lot of men know,
Yeah.
but I think women
true.
have to, or not have to, but are expected to bring so much less to the table that all you really have to bring is looks, support, and just prowess in the bedroom. Other than that, like, a man will take care of you forever. But a man only bringing support, his looks, and being good in bed, you're a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But wait a minute. Go ahead.
If his love language is provide and protect and security, and you see like a father with a newborn and it's a girl, you see he has a boy and he provides protection and security and whatever to her, and he's like, yo, he got to be born to be self-sufficient. So it's like, does he have a favorite? Does he love her conditionally? Because it's like, oh, like, would you say it's because she's a girl and women have lesser genes than men and they always have to be protected and give safety to thrive?
Well, no, I think raising a boy and a girl differently it should be different, but also touch the same topics. You know what I mean? So like, I would teach my daughter when I have one, you can't trust anybody. You gotta always, you can't get fucked up in a public place because you never know who's plotting on you. And I would teach a man, like, or my son, like, you can't, you gotta watch for these women because
some of them are
you might
opportunists.
not even that, but you might
They might
think
set you up.
it's one thing and it's a totally different thing. You know what I mean? Exactly. They might set you up. They might even just be too drunk and you don't realize, so you got to be careful. You know what I mean? Because then if you're not drinking, that's a bad look. You can't. There's just a whole lot of different topics that I would teach them the same topic, but in different sides of the coin.
All right. Now, going back to the unconditionally, it is the I've heard of stories where when a couple is married, right, and the woman falls sick, right, she has cancer or something, a man is known to leave in the height of, like, I can't deal with this, but a woman will stick it out more. Not that there aren't women who up and leave. That I know there is too, but technically speaking, a man will not stick around if that woman is has a terminal sickness.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I've heard of that, but I also want to give some context. Not context, but I just want to clarify. So, if a woman has
Did you
cancer,
write that article?
If a woman has cancer and she can't do really much besides like lay around and converse, a man can still love her, but is it now not loving her if he chooses to go and have fun with someone else and then come back and take care of her?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
But a lot of women, if that were to happen, they'd be like, "Oh, he cheated on me while I have cancer. Get him out of here.
I don't know about
He's
that.
a piece of shit.
I don't know about that.
He's a piece of shit. He cheated on you while you had cancer. Feed him to the dog."
You mean other women might say that?
He's on to something.
I think, I'm not saying all women, and I'm not
right,
saying,
but we're talking about unconditional. So if they're married, and if she's that sick, she's not even going to be paying attention or anything like that, right? But for him to go, personally, me speaking, if I was sick and my husband was, go ahead and have fun. But if you're going to up and leave me in the height of when I'm sick.
That's you, though. That's not a lot of women. Most of the world monogamous.
I'm talking about the man leaving while the woman is sick.
But what I'm saying,
let's answer that question first.
Okay, he's a piece of shit. But what I'm saying is that if he goes and does that and she gets mad, it's not him leaving, it's her kicking him out. Oh, you did that to me? fuck you.
Yeah.
But what if the
So
other way
that's
around?
not him leaving. That's her kicking him out. You chose that.
Bro,
Yeah.
okay, but most of the time it's just them leaving because they can't handle that person being sick or handle the responsibility of cleaning up after them, of being that caregiver.
Yo, I never heard of a man cheating on a woman that was ride or die for him. Probably was there before I made it in rich. I never saw this before, heard this before, of him cheating and then saying, "Listen, that pussy was so good and she just got me in tune with my feelings and made me come. And now oxytocin is dripping and I built this emotional attachment and she gonna be the new wife and I'm divorcing you." I never heard that before, but women can do that. They can. Because if a woman cheats and that shit is good, and the man that she's with, she knows that shit is bad, she gonna start to recalibrate and be like, yo, why he not fucking me this good? Probably because he don't love me. He's a damn man. If he don't know how to do anything else, the bedroom he should be dominant in. So if he don't know how to love me, right, I don't feel more love and affection or whatever, but from this man, and he makes me come and I build that emotional attachment. Bye, divorce time, and I make my own money. But she not saying she been had a side nigga, a backup. You see, like I said, I never heard a man that a woman was there for him and she rode for him because that's what gets you the ring. I cheated on you.
A man cheating and leaving? I've heard that.
I cheated on you, and now bye because the sex was damn good. Hell no.
No,
and we know this too. When a man nuts, he's done. He's uninterested in you. He thought you was love. The IG model. Oh my God, I'm gonna do all these things for her. I'm gonna simp and whatever. The moment he gets the pussy and he gets off, yo, she's ugly now. My God, she was doing all those things to me. Dom drop. That's what we call in BDSM. Dom drop. He feels guilty now. He looks at you as disgust.
How about all the rappers or all the entertainers?
No. Men don't fall in love with sex.
Hold up. Or the athletes that had the woman that started out with them, the ride or die, and then they make it, and it's like, sorry, I'm gonna go with the next chick.
No way.
That's the woman's L. Of course he's gonna go cheat, bro. You're giving the man $100 million. Why wouldn't he go cheat? It's like you could love somebody and still cheat on them. I'm
not saying nothing about the cheating. If I'm talking about
Giselle, whatever.
Bunching.
Whatever
you don't like
the hell
name
it is.
drop over here, son.
I'm saying with Tom Brady, how the fuck you gonna leave this bum? He's not a bum. How you gonna leave this guy who he brought you up? You would have been a bum if you'd never met him.
She was a freaking model. What are you talking about? And I'm not a fan of hers. She was a cover girl for freaking.
It doesn't matter.
Why?
It doesn't matter.
Why for Sports Illustrated?
It doesn't matter.
Married
what he's
to
trying
a sports star.
Exactly.
She was on it before they got together.
She would have been a bum. She would have been washed up by now.
She was a Victoria's Secret model, bro.
That's only good until you're like 32, and then they're like, "Guess what? You too old now. Get the fuck out of here." Especially if you're white and you can't, a lot of POC women look a lot younger.
Yeah.
White women, they age not that great.
And
she's not white. She's Brazilian.
Yeah, and he's right because he's more prestigious than she was, anyways.
100 more times.
I might not be a fan of Brady, but he's the most consistent and he's out there constantly. Commercials, whatever, he's out there constantly. When have we ever heard of Giselle? The moment he mentioned her right now, I'm like, oh yeah, Tom Brady's wife. But I'm not already thinking,
because you guys are men. You mentioned freaking Tom Brady or Giselle Bundchen to a bunch of women. They're gonna know who the hell Giselle is.
Okay. Moneybag Yo and Ari, whatever the hell her name is.
Ari the Don?
She's only famous for being his girl and G Herbo's baby mother. Other than that, she's a bum. So, she gets money now, but she would have been nobody if she didn't open her legs for G Herbo. She would have been a fucking ratchet girl in Chicago doing nothing. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
How do you know? You don't know that.
I know that because
I don't. You can't know.
It's a possibility.
That's your opinion.
It's a possibility.
That's your opinion.
These girls only know who she is because they're attracted to Moneybag Yo. So they're like, who's the girl? Who's the girl? Like, they live vicariously through them. They post all the food pictures. Oh, that's where I gotta go next. I gotta go somewhere that the food looks like that. I gotta dress the way she's dressing. I have to get a BBL and look all crazy for a man of that stature. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay.
They don't follow the women because they appreciate the women. They follow the women because they want what they have.
I follow Ari, and I don't want any of her men. Gross. No offense. Okay.
Do you? Good.
Do you believe you ever fall out of love or stop loving someone?
Yeah.
You fall out of, so if you love someone, then you can just stop loving them?
I mean, not out of nowhere, but it takes. And yeah, you can.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe it. I think if you love somebody, like you got to that level, that's like me. Like saying, okay, I was with this woman, and this is subjective, and we kissed, we got physical. I can't be friends with her. We crossed that line already. There ain't no going back. Even if she wanted to be friends and she was cool or whatever, if she's not trying to be a sub, we can't be friends. I could be your friend, but you'll never be mine. It could be something like that. But because I feel like once you already love them, you're pair bonding, you're absorbing their energy, their soul. You know what I'm saying? And if it's even more intense, like souls intertwine, that stays with you for a bit, you know? And we can even go in further, like soul families and twin flames of that nature, you know, when we look on a spirituality aspect. So I don't believe you fall in love. Now, in love is different, in my opinion. Like in love is like I'm constantly thinking about you every day. Wake up before I eat. Like you consume my thoughts all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that could be infatuation.
I could think about you. You call and maybe woman. Fuzzy. I see caller ID. Oh, it's daddy. Oh, fuzzy.
He said
I'm
fuzzy.
fuzzy feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's love for some people. So, but that's probably in love. But love is like, to me, like care. It's like, okay, we're not together anymore, but you have a special place in my heart. Well, like I care about you, but I'm not in love with you.
Can I answer now before you jump back to it? Okay. I agree with discipline. But I do agree with you too. I feel like if you really love someone and you know you've been through a lot with them or whatever, that love kind of stays. And when you break up, even if you know you don't, if they don't want to be friends with you or whatever, you're always gonna want the best for them.
Not me. I'm a hater.
If stupid. He was drinking. You could have made him drown.
I was looking at you.
Poor man. Water almost came out his nose. But you know, I do believe that if boundaries are crossed, or there is deception, or there is, you know, something done where it's irreversible, then yeah, that love could turn to hate something awful quick.
I have two things to say. Well, like I'm gonna respond and I'm gonna give my opinion.
Of course you do.
Then that's not unconditional love, because something happened for you to not love them anymore. But
they got nothing to do with unconditional. It got just to do with
what I'm gonna say is my love is 100% conditional, baby. Like I only have unconditional love for like my kids and my mom, and that's pretty much it. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody else, like, if I'm not fucking with you, guess what? It's beef. Not beef, but I don't fuck with you.
We on the same page today, man. I don't know what's going on.
That's it.
As the stars aligned.
I'm the same way. See, my mother's a Leo.
You know what it was? Black Panther 2. The Mexicans and the Africans, it was like this.
Probably. That shit is zooming into the universe.
Yes, I just want to say, we're not Mexican and he's not African.
Hey, black and brown. You're close enough. I'm like a beige, okay?
My mother's a Leo, lion sign, right? Most powerful, strongest sign of the zodiac. Scorpios are like most powerful. We go at it. And sometimes we have our debates, spirituality and religion, right? And we could get loud, we could get aggressive. I never curse in front of my mom, or at her.
That must be nice.
But we'll go at it, and we'll give, even like, she might not call me out my bitch, stupid, or like she'll say stuff like that, coño, like, you know what I'm saying? But not like, oh, you asshole, you whatever it is. She won't ever do that, and I won't do the same thing. And I could be mad at her, and she could be mad at me. But I got that unconditional. Like, no matter what, I'm up, she gonna always have money. She gonna always do it, whatever it is. Like, it's unconditional. Like, I could be mad at her and still want to do things. My sister. But no other woman that's not related to me like family, I'm like that with.
Right.
Everything else is condition. You know, if I'm gonna provide for you, that's condition. You're not a family member. You know what I'm saying? That could be part of my love language. Protection, all of that stuff. Teaching you, guiding you, like, yeah, all that stuff could be my love language. And though that's why I say, yo, we on the same page and we never had this conversation.
And in response to what you said about being in love and loving someone, I think sometimes people can confuse being in love with loving someone. Like, I could love someone and not be in love with them.
Yeah, people confuse that.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
If men are designed or were born to procreate, why do most women, not all of them, but most women can't understand a man loving more than one partner?
I definitely am going to agree with the caller on that one. I think that they make it about themselves.
Yeah.
Like, why does he need somebody else? Well, I'm not good enough. That's usually how most.
Well, I also think it's
think.
like kind of training, brainwashing, however you want to say, because women kind of, at least in my generation, we grew up with like Disney movies. I'm a woman, but like they grew up on Disney movies. I mean, me too, but they were like, you know, you got to find you're a princess, you got to find the prince and have your happily ever after. So to them, if you're in love with another woman, it's like they feel like, well, I'm not a princess because a princess gets everything that she wants. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like a hard reality to come to. It's like you might not provide everything that he wants. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for me, I would want. If I had multiple girls, I wouldn't want two of the same race or culture, and that's because I like to learn about different things. Like I don't really want a Spanish partner that like she's not like a top one because I'm already from that culture. Like you got to be from a different country at least. You know what I mean? I would like somebody who I can learn like, oh shit, you know what? That's really interesting, and then connect it back to mine. You know what I mean? I like differences.
Okay.
I don't want to clone.
That's where we differ.
He's like, well,
because I wouldn't mind having two subs. I'm not gonna have a dominant woman and a sub. That's
no, but I'm saying like, would you want to? It might not matter for you, but would you want two subs that are black or two subs that are Hispanic or two subs that are? It doesn't matter to you. To me, I mean, it doesn't matter. But ideally, I would like people from different cultures.
And you know what? You're right because men love variety.
Yeah.
I don't love variety pertaining to women.
Oh no, I love.
You know what I'm saying? Like men in general love variety. Remember that bonus? Yeah. So men love variety. You know, so he might say, listen, that Asian chick looking kind of nice. That black chick, I got a white woman at home. If I go to the club, I'm not trying to talk to a white girl. So I already see that 24/7.
Yeah.
I could get a Latina tonight.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Or even like shape wise, like, you know, my girl at home, you know, she's a little bit thick, but this girl's, you know, a little more fit. Like I might have to, you know, take her for a spin.
I'm different. I'm different. It's like, you know, I could have two subs who are slim thick. You know, I could have two Latinas, two African American, like it's two Asians.
I treat them like Pokemon cards. I gotta catch them all. None of the same.
I don't know whose kid this
is.
He's an artist,
musical artist. All right. So, two things for this.
Two things.
Can't understand. One is because women are not born to not project their emotions, their mindset, and feelings upon men. They're not taught that. They think like men and women are equal. So that's one of the reasons why they can't understand it, because most women will say, damn girl, you know, I was talking to him and I found out 3 months he was married, saw some shit in his phone, contact his wife, whatever. Oh, word, he was married? Yeah, how could he do that to his wife? Maybe she not sucking his dick right. He's unhappy to be hitting me up. Because women think like that. They're like, why would this guy who has a beautiful wife, whatever, still cheat on her? Good looking women are not supposed to get cheated on. That might be in their mind. He should be happy. If he's happy, why is his eyes wandering? They don't get it because that's how women are. Women practice their loyalty through fidelity. And if you getting provided for in all the sense and a bonus, a sex god in the bedroom and making her come, she's, oh my God, I don't see eyes for nobody else. LL Cool J could come, Romeo, you know what I'm saying? He could come in front of me. I don't care. I'm not trying to go to a concert to go see him. My man is the man.
I think if you're a woman who's never been cheated on, you into bums. Because you're into men who can't get other women.
Men who can't get other women. Yeah.
If you're a woman who's never been cheated on, you're into lames and squares because any other man is going to always take that opportunity. Like, I don't care how good of a man you are. It's just instinct to do it.
Yeah. Men are poly in the closet. You ever heard like the term in the closet? They haven't come out yet. They're in denial. You know, we said this in a previous episode. He could be going out with his girl. I see eyes for only you. Such the greatest girl in the world. Sees a nice fat ass walk by. And then his eyes wander. And he's just like drooling. And she's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Or whatever it is. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm the author, so I just throw scenarios, right? You know, so now it's like, why is his eyes wandering if he's supposed to be happy? You know what I'm saying? Like most women, it's like when I'm happy in the relationship and I'm getting everything, and on top of that, he's a great provider, protector, and great sex. Why?
You know,
I'm being fulfilled as a woman. Men are not born to be like fulfilled because that's complacency. See, the masculine is supposed to constantly be on the go, on my purpose. Yo, don't let me preach in here, man. Stop me.
I think, you know what's funny is that for me, when I'm not happy in a relationship, I'm like,
nobody's happy.
Like, I don't want, no, not that, but it's like, yeah, I'll fuck you, but like, I'm a lazy dick you. Like, I'm not into it. But if I'm happy, guess what? Yo, let's bring your friend and like 2 other girls like through. Like, I'm more trying to fuck everything when I am happy. And when I'm not happy, I'm not trying to do any of that because I'm just trying to do me. I'm trying to fix me. What's wrong? Whatever's wrong that's got me fucked up.
Yeah. Because men are just born to conquer. Nature, conquer in general.
That's why men are more often than women workaholics because they just are never satisfied. Women will be like, well, we got enough money. A man will never be satisfied with the amount of money he's making.
Where I fall into the 2% people.
That's why it's like, that's why they don't get it. You understand? That's why they don't get why men are loving more than one partner, because just how women are, they feel like you could be the most promiscuous woman out there. You have like maybe 10, 20 bodies in the past. That's how you was. And you meet that guy that you feel like a father figure. I was doing all that stuff and accumulate bodies because I was emotionally damaged. I was psychologically fucked up. I used those guys, or because they desired me, they made me forget about my insecurities, or they showed me desire because I come from a fucked up environment where I didn't get love. You understand what I'm saying? So, but then she meets that guy that teaches her about his love language and how a man should be. And then she's like looking at him as a father figure, or whatever it is. And he's like, wow, fuck all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Women are more inclined to loving different. While men are like, yo, we want a routine. Like if I told you I love Latinas and black women, like that's what you're gonna see me with. But a woman could switch up. She could have been 20 years old and only had a preference for 6'5", and then she meets good men who are 5'11", and it's like she doesn't have a height preference anymore.
But I think
because now that love,
she learned her lesson. I think that's why she wants these men who are not going to treat her right, and she doesn't realize it, and that's why she changes up. Maybe now that I'm washed up and old, now I'm going to find the right man. Like, they don't want you anymore at that point, though. Like, I mean, me, I don't care how many bodies you got as long as, like, you're good.
Clean.
Yeah, you're good, and, you know, it's I got to know the reason. Like, oh, I was just having fun. Hey, that's valid to me, but if you're like, nah, I was, like, depressed and blah, 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 I don't really want you anymore. You know what I mean? Because I might take care of children, but I don't take care of adults. Like, I'm not a
psychiatrist or something like that.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not an old folks home person, like wiping asses. Like, after a certain age, like, you got to do it on your own, just like I did it on my own. I'll give you advice, but I'm not gonna hold your hand through it.
All right. If loving more than one person is a big responsibility, would you be able to handle it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like subjective, obviously, and based off your love language, like I said earlier. So if you believe like your love language, like let's say me, my love language could be protection and all those things that I stated, right? Teaching her and elevating her to her most optimal level. I could do that and handle that responsibility even through the hiccups. You know, I might see that she has potential, you know, feminine nurturing. Maybe she wants family of that nature, right? Lifestyles coincide. She's traditional, but she has some toxic tendencies, like few bad habits. Maybe she likes posting a lot of selfies. She's an attention fiend. Could be stuff like she's a old, like 35 years old, sucks her thumb. You know, maybe you might not like that. Like she chews with her mouth open. Right. Like I don't date women like this, but I'm just giving hypotheticals. You know, so you're like, you know, you point out those bad habits and you're like, you don't like that. And then now she like makes the adjustment. So, you know, to me, it's like, I believe that that's putting in work because that's patience. And by having patience, you have discipline and you could channel that into responsibility because that's part of being responsible.
Right. Well, yeah, I think the responsibility aspect to me was more like, can you fairly treat multiple partners? And I don't know if I can do it equally, but I could do it fairly in accordance to how, you know,
that relationship is.
Yeah, like for example, I probably wouldn't have like 3 women living with me in the crib. Like, nah, that's too much. But 1, maybe 2, but I gotta be with one for like mad long and then move another one in. I can't just meet two women and divide my time. Yeah. Like that, it's too much.
That would be insane too.
Why?
You meet 2 women, like y'all didn't build anything yet with each other. Like
well, y'all maybe not move in, but like just initiate a relationship. Yeah. I can't meet 2 different women
at the same time
and equally try to build up the relationship. I feel like I'm gonna choose one over the other, and then maybe later we'll double back and scoop you back up because I have a lot going on in my own shit. Yeah, I have a lot going on in my own shit. Like I don't want to spend too much time even just with one girl. You know what I mean? Like you have a time limit, so to now go to somebody else, like nah, we gotta have been together. Like you gotta be on my page. And that, like, you meshed into my life. Like, you folded in very nicely. Oh, okay, yeah, there's space for somebody else. But can't just pile them on. Boom, 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 boom. Doesn't work like that for me.
I see your point.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Could you do that?
Me?
Yeah. No. Could you, let's say you have no subs and you meet 2 women at the same time. Could you build relationships with each one equally?
Yeah.
The same way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thought you were gonna say move them in right away. Oh no.
No.
I'm gonna need to work on that.
And even if it was like 2 girls together, right? And they were looking for a man, nah, because then I'm gonna think like maybe you talking about me together, like you 2 together, and I'm the third. Like that's not working for me. I'm the number 1. I'm the prize. You know what I mean? Y'all are the hunters looking for the prize.
Yes, I too can handle that responsibility of loving more than one person because I'm a mom. See how I treat that?
That's weird. Yeah, because it's not specific. Yeah.
What gender would be more comfortable handling a lot of responsibility?
Men.
I don't know.
I don't like responsibility, so I'm gonna say
I think it depends because like there's a lot of different responsibilities out there. But just for the sake of like, I would say men.
If men are constantly in leadership roles, perhaps he could have been a provider very young. He didn't get to enjoy his childhood. He had to learn to be a provider early. Could have been like in the streets selling dope. You know what I'm saying? So he had to like be a provider early. If he's in a corporate environment now, got away from the, controlled substances or whatever, and now he's in a corporate environment and he's leading there. When he is in relationships, he's constantly leading there. That's a big responsibility. So responsibility has to be something that is repetitive. Like practice makes perfect. So if he's constantly in these leadership roles and handling responsibility, it's going to almost come natural to him. The only thing that when it pertains to an individual is just learning them and seeing what, giving the opposite sex what they need, without even like asking, like that, or them telling you.
I think it's kind of like a spectrum. I think no woman is gonna. I think the worst woman in the world is not gonna be as bad as the worst man in the world, right? But I think also the best man in the world, I don't think is gonna be as good as the best woman in the world, because I've never heard, me personally, I've never heard of like a man who's like a really successful CEO, a good husband, and a good father all in one. I feel like women juggle that a lot easier than men do. Like they can juggle work and then their kids a lot more seamlessly than men can. And I feel like that's just because
that's from experience that he can
I feel
say
like
that.
women are more built to like
Because he's seen his mama do
Multitask?
it.
are more built to multitask. Yeah. Because when we were coming up into like being society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men, what did they do? They went to war and they hunted animals, which is pretty much the same thing. You're killing something.
Mm-hmm.
But women had to take care of the young. They had to take care of the old. They had to find berries and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
And cook the dang
cook
food.
the shit. Yeah. So it's like it's a lot less hard. Like you're not going to war or killing something, but you're taking care of the homestead. You're doing everything else. You're cleaning. You're cooking. You're taking care of everybody. You're getting the supplies. So I think it's easier for women to juggle
Healing
it
the
more.
men coming back from war.
Facts, that too.
Ew. All right.
So that's responsibility. Like,
Yeah.
He makes a valid point. And
Oh, great. I have to live with this kid afterwards. His head is going to be
when
huge.
It's always huge.
when he said that women, they have to do all those things. They have to pretty much summarize it, multitask. Like that's.
I think you broke him.
You
broke
that's
discipline.
that's a good point, because like when you think about it, women are more attention to detail, and they show love and care into certain things. That's why it was always ideal for the woman to stay home and the men to go out there, because men are kind of like straight now. Like I have a program. This is what I do. If I hunt every day, I'm a lion. I hunt every day around this time.
Yeah, I agree.
So women are more like you were saying, they're able to do that because they could put love into it. Their attention to detail.
Like the attention to detail, a woman can get her hair cut and like get mad that the man doesn't notice, but in his mind, he's like, I don't know what it is, but you look nice today.
Mm-hmm.
Where a woman will be like, oh, you must have got your hair cut by a different barber because it's not lined up the usual way. You know what I mean? Who tied your tie this morning? Like it's not the usual knot. You know what I mean? They notice shit like that.
He's right. He's right. Think
My
about
best
you.
friend could be like mad, like angry as shit, but if he doesn't show it on his face, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like what's up? But a woman will be like, what's wrong? You look upset today.
Yo, he's right. This is even from experience. Like women have screenshotted my photos and they're like doing this. They're pinching. They're like, yo, who took the photo? Who this? Where was this at? What's that in the background?
Like those memes where I text my girlfriend saying I'm in the hospital and she sees a bag in the bag. She said, whose fucking bag is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that he got into an accident or anything like that.
Yeah.
A man's not gonna. He'll be like, oh shit, she got a cast on. Like, yes, it's right there. We know it.
All right. You can only choose one. Would you rather date a single mom with one child and 2 bodies under her belt, or a woman with 50 to 80 bodies and no kids?
Whoever's gonna be okay with giving me a child, because you could have a child and that's fine. But if you're not, like, I have to have a conversation with these women, because it's like if you have one child and you only got 2 bodies, like you might not be the best in bed, and you also have like a time constraint. But if you're willing to give me
a time constraint about what, having children?
no, like like you got a kid, so like you can't go out whenever.
Right. Oh, I got
You know what I mean? Like we
Oh.
can't just hit the movies and
Right,
just
right.
us.
So
So
and
like
maybe,
a curfew
Right,
almost,
right,
like
right.
Yeah,
a
almost.
restricted.
I don't
time.
want to like make it seem
Right,
like
right.
a child is like fucked up, but like it's almost like a ball and chain, which kind of sounds
Right.
fucked up. But the woman with 80 bodies, like, okay, yeah, she might know what she's doing, but are you in any mindset to slow that down and have children, or are you just like going on this purpose your whole life? You know what I mean? So it honestly depends on what they're willing to do for me. Like if they're
Yeah, I
willing to
think
change their
that's-
lifestyle up for me.
I think it's what's the word that you always say? It's
Subjective.
so subjective.
Yeah. So Sue, you can't really answer this question. And not trying to be disrespectful, but men choose their partners. Like men kind of like a man who has a high body count is not really a big deal for women. It might be a lot for most men because they're like, yo, I choose my wife. I'm choosing my girlfriend. This is the chick I'm bringing out around to people that's not going to embarrass me, to my family and friends. Like men, most men think like this. So that's why like men still value purity in women. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if they're old school and traditional still, they still value purity in women. So the less, the better. So that's why like you can't answer it really. Because
All
I
right,
really
fine.
don't believe that you would care if a man had a high body count. Because women don't fuck with men that are inexperienced. I ask like mad women, like, would you date a Steve Urkel? Would you date a guy that, is not that experienced in bed? You might have to teach him. Oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. So why are you mad if he got bodies? Because he had to practice to do that. That's why he fucked you so well.
But also, I don't
Call his exes and thank them.
I don't think it's the same either because like how many men are sitting there as a single father? You know what I mean? With their kid living with them. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's really
Usually the guy either like dips out or he sees him on the weekend or whatever. Like it's very rare that they live with the dad over the mom. So it doesn't really like apply that well either.
Would I date a single mom with one child, two bodies, or three, or a woman with 50, 80 bodies under her belt who's single, who doesn't have kids? That's easy. What do you think? I would choose.
You would choose the one with the kid.
No, I think he would choose the one with the bodies because it's not like
He said, "You don't know me." Son.
I think it's because
See, this was the disconnect. You fucked it up, Gabe.
No,
You
because
fucked it up.
I'm thinking
we were on a good page.
I'm trying to put myself in your mindset because it's like if you have a kid, you let another man like give you a kid, you can't ever take it. Yeah, but you can't ever like take that back. Whereas like you can kind of train a woman to be less promiscuous. I'm trying to think in your mindset.
I don't think you can.
Okay, well then my first instinct was the mom, but then I was like, you
should
know
have.
what?
Hey, you should have fucked with your first
Yeah.
instinct. That's the angels talking when they do that. That gut feeling, they're talking to you.
Yeah.
But you both technically are right because you thought about it first.
Yeah.
But you said something different. So you're both.
He's wrong and I'm right.
You're both right. Because the thoughts are first. They what control the body.
But what comes out of his mouth?
All right. So check this out, right? The mother with the single child with fewer and I'm gonna give you a reason why. The reason I don't agree you can't train a woman to be to not be promiscuous anymore is because it's very hard to get women out of things. When they get in a relationship, they build their identity about that. Women bring more trauma, past relationship trauma, than men. Men just don't deal with it. They don't go to therapy with it. They just don't deal with it. They'll be like, yo, I'll go to the club tonight and get over a chick.
Yeah.
And get over her. Like, they don't deal with it. But women are constantly like, oh, I invested years. Like, that stays with her.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, to me, when a woman is promiscuous, and this is also research, so you could go to like Cambridge College, like Google that stuff, Princeton University. They did this on research. They said women with higher body counts or promiscuous are more likely to be unhappy in their relationship, or it's on its path to divorce. They're not built to have success because women pair bond more than men. So if she has a lot of bodies, like I'm going to do what you did, because I said this in episode 88. I'm going to ask her questions. Why?
Right.
1, 2, if it's true, are you out here fucking like a man? because I never met women that do that unless they're prostitutes. That's 2. 3, it would be like, why again? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it beyond?
I'm gonna go back
Is
to
it
why.
beyond? Is it beyond childhood trauma, or perhaps your parents weren't around? Let's just say, put scenarios. Her parents weren't around, so she became escort.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? She had to provide early, and that was the only way, or a stripper. Right? Let's not even talk about prostitute. To me, it's like getting with that woman. It's gonna be hard to make her happy for too long because she's used to accumulating bodies and male energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like, she might say, yo, we've been together for a year. Bobby and Sue go on trips. What's up? And because you don't do that, now it's like, yo, I'm mad at him because he didn't give me what he want. I'm gonna go on Instagram and post my booty. Cheating.
I feel like women definitely do compare relationships way more than men. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what the next guy is doing, but women will be like, oh, but he bought her this, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Right, but what about let's say those women who are promiscuous and because their parents weren't there. What if they're promiscuous, looking for love, and they're, because of all their trauma, they just keep picking the wrong guy?
that's impossible.
This man.
It's not really impossible for a woman to have 50 to 80 bodies. I just threw that number because I know it's impossible.
No, I'm just saying.
Unless they're
Yes.
prostitutes or
in the business, yes, I
in the
understand.
business, sex workers. But no way. There's no way that regular women will have 50 bodies. 20 is ridiculous to me.
I think if you keep choosing the same guy over and over, that's you being an idiot, and I'm not trying to be around no dummy. Like,
No,
you
definitely,
should
but
learn
that's
after like the second or third time. Like, damn, you know
But
what?
Exactly.
you're talking about
And
somebody who's in their right state of mind. But we're talking about, he mentioned she could have trauma because of
And
parents not being
I've
there.
said from the jump, if you got trauma, I am not the
and
one
now-
to be with.
You know
Yo,
how many people
and
in this
now
world
she's-
walk around with trauma?
Listen,
I'm
now
talking about
she's
crazy
check this
trauma.
out, because she's not healthy. Even in her mindset, she's dumb. She's making dumb decisions. She's dumb. She's stupid. You understand? So he's right. She's making stupid decisions. Like, she's she's going through PTSD that everything about her that is doing is negative, toxic, and stupid.
Yeah, if you don't analyze your life, whether it's good or positive, like, you're just gonna make the same mistakes over and over again.
and
That's what I can't deal with.
And he said earlier, women are more inclined to multitasking. That means you have to use your brain efficiently. Women who are fucked up and emotionally damaged are not doing the stuff that he was talking about because they can't. They're dumb. It's like, remember, did you ever see
That's
Lean
a
On
no.
Me?
That's a
Did you ever
negative.
see Lean On Me?
No.
Yeah.
No?
What
Yeah.
is it? What's it called?
Lean on me.
With
Lean on Me.
Morgan Freeman?
No, I saw Stand By Me, not Lean on Me.
Morgan Freeman. He's talking to the kid on the rooftop. Forgot his name. Craig, maybe. Was it Craig?
I don't know.
Whatever. So we just make up a name. Blah blah.
Correct.
So he's like, "You still smoking that crack, son? It kills your brain cells. You know what it does to you? It kills your brain cells."
Yeah, I
And he's
remember
putting his
that.
hand on his temple. Like, a lot of these women they're brain dead. You understand? Because of this.
Yeah.
Nobody can constantly keep doing what he was doing. A woman, that's making a choice. Yo, you keep choosing the same man. That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's the definition of insanity too.
Yes.
When you're constantly making the same mistake, hoping for a different result, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
You see what I'm saying? So ultimately, like, a woman that accumulated that many bodies, yo, what's wrong with you?
I mean, if
Because-
it was just to do it, like, all right, like, that's a little bit better to me than like, oh, I just thought that, I just kept making the same mistake.
You know why it's not better? Because women pair bond. I always go back to that. And if 10 guys she had sex with, she's bound to have 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10 who was the ultimate best. And that person who was the ultimate best is gonna keep her like halfway in the relationship if that's all he's providing.
Yeah.
Because I've had women who even told me, "Yo, I stayed for the dick."
Well, what if it was a woman who is bisexual and has like 20 bodies with girls, but only like 5 with men?
Oh, the opposite sex. That's right. You're right about that. But I mean, how are women really having sex?
With their dildo, or with their fingers, or with their mouth.
But it's not skin to skin. It's not like,
it's not like a penis going into a woman.
Secretion is involved.
Her fingers.
Secretion is involved in that. Most women like to fuck raw. Some take birth control. I'm just saying, and shit like that.
In that scenario, does that change your opinion or no?
Like
if she was just like had mad relationships with girls and was like only had like 3 or 4 or 5 guys.
That changes my perspective.
Okay.
Because having sex with a man and a woman are 2 different things. You're not really having sex with a woman. You're just playing together. Sticking inside, no, you need to dominate. You need that hand around your neck. You need that big dick. You need that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a woman, I can beat pussy better.
I've seen girls
wear strap-ons.
Not even just that, but I've seen one be a lot more submissive to, like, one dominating the other.
Yeah, but it's still, she still has to wear a strap on. She still has to have toys to do it.
Not necessarily. They can do it with their hands. That's still a hand going in.
Y'all playing with each other.
A whole hand.
When a woman and a man is having sex, they're having sex. That's elevation.
All right.
And if they're in their divinity, they can manifest. That's elevation. That's powerful. But 2 women that are having sex, I don't even call that sex. I say, yo, she's just playing with her girlfriend.
Is it easier for a man to find a good woman than it is for a woman to find a good man? And why is this true?
You
know what? I'm gonna go first because y'all 2 talk a whole heck of a lot, and y'all leave me the freak out of shit. Is it easier it's easier for a man to find a good woman, in my opinion.
You think so? Yeah. I think I have mixed thoughts about it because all the good women are probably taken.
All the good men are probably taken.
All the good men are definitely not taken. They are.
He's like,
they're in the office. They're grinding. They're sticking to themselves. They're not focused on
women,
on finding a woman. They're focused on bettering themselves.
Yo, I'm proud of your growth, man.
Wait. Did he just jump back onto the same wavelength?
Yes, he did. You on the discipline?
I might as well just get up and leave.
Yeah, no, because like what makes a good man and what makes a good woman? You know what I mean? Like a good woman to me is someone who stands by you, has a good head on her shoulders, like good, not perception, but like good instincts, good. She just knows what's good. And as someone, for me, this is not for everybody, but someone who could be a good mother. Right?
You're describing me.
A good man is someone who knows who he is. He chases what he wants without letting other people or other things interfere, and he is some sort of provider. It doesn't have to be necessarily money or something else, but he just has to have
that provider in him.
Yeah, it could be oh, something's going down, like you got to get behind me. Mm-hmm. It could be that. It could be like, oh, we're crossing the street, now you got to get on the other side of me because I'm closer to the cars. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something like that.
I concur. So what he's talking about is protection. That's a good man. A man who wants to protect you is a good man. A man who wants to provide you security, safety, that's a good man. A man, like you said, provider, maybe finances, that's a good man. He knows himself. He is a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just who he is, whether he has a girlfriend or not. He's a gentleman. Now, if she disrespects him, he might take that away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he knows what he's giving is a reward. It's a gift.
Conditional.
That's a good man. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, another two that's a good man. Men that don't ask women their body count. So men need to stop doing that.
Yeah, because you're just making it hard for yourself.
Women are gonna lie anyways because they think men can't handle the truth. So the thing is, with good men, don't ask women their body count. So me, I only heard this like in this generation, like a couple of years ago or this year about body count. I'm like, this is weird because I live in an era that I believe doesn't exist anymore. So when I'm vetting a woman, that never happened, never came up. Even when I was younger, I asked things like how many boyfriends you had, because I believe if a woman is having sex, because I come from a different era, that's her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? She's in a relationship. Yeah, the fuck buddy culture, the hookup culture. Like, I'm 36, but I'm people like talking like this, I sound like I'm 60. You understand? Hookup culture is like, what is that?
No, yeah, because
in my opinion,
I'm not
like
even really into
exactly.
It like
So when I hear body count, it's like I never had to ask a woman her body count. What I would
Not
advise
now.
men to do is ask women how many boyfriends you had, what was the longest, and touch off that. Like, a job interview, when they say, well, you were there the longest, why'd you leave?
Yeah.
What did you do wrong in the relationship? That's what I do. It's like a job interview when I vet these women. When we go on dates or whatever, it's a job interview. So I say, do you have a 5-year plan? You have any kids?
That's good.
You have any kids? You don't? So are you and the baby daddy still doing some shit? Let me know about him. Is he a gang member or something? Because if I get involved with you, is he jealous? Is he not gonna want me around your kids?
I think it's smart to ask about past partners, but I think if you're asking about body count, you're either insecure or you a freaky ass dude.
Yes, and you already see that woman as a whole. So you understand?
Yeah.
You negate it.
If
you kind of
have to ask.
exactly.
You
answer your own question. If she looks promiscuous, leave her alone. Why ask that
or
question?
You gotta be prepared.
Yeah, and accept it. If she says she got 50 bodies, you wanted the IG model.
Exactly.
It was your fault. But if you're looking at women that aren't promiscuous, they're shy about showing the body. They might have nice bodies, but they're like, yo, men don't get to see this. This is weird. I could be all over the internet. My face is here. Facial recognition.
Right.
I'm scared. What if they're watching? And I'm trying to be a attorney, and they do extensive background checks. That's why people are getting fired for OnlyFans.
And teachers.
That's why teachers and police officers and stuff getting fired for OnlyFans, because that matters in the world. You see what I'm saying? So if you're doing that, like you dating those type of women that clearly they look like that and they're doing those activities, you're setting yourself up. It's dumb on the men part. You understand? That's why I never needed to ask that, because I always seeked out traditional women. There's things I saw in them, feminine, how they dress. I look on their Instagram. Oh, they're dressed appropriately. She's never with her butt cheeks out. And if she is, now I'm going to find out if she's a stripper. Now I'm going to find out if she was a prostitute. Why on the first conversation, you're talking to me, telling me how well you could suck my soul? Bitch, I'm a seducer. I could suck your soul. You can't bring that shit to me. Now it becomes like you turn me off.
A woman showing her body to me is not a big deal, but I would never be with a woman whose job it is to lie to men and make them feel good. Like, you could be you could be, showing your body and you look good. Whatever your job is, you're a trainer, you're a model, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Bottle girl?
But if you're nobody in the club, never, because your job is to make people get out of character. Your job is to make people think you like them or they're the man or whatever.
Not bottle girls.
Yeah, because you gotta come through and be like,
God.
you spending so much money, like you a real baller. And it's like,
preach.
Here's some more. Here's 2 more for you.
Yo, I said this in my story.
I'm shutting his
we're
mic
on
off,
the same
man.
page today, man. I don't know what it is.
If your job is to lie, I don't want you.
I said this. I said I don't even have a problem with those women. That's the irony. But these women are lying.
Exactly.
If I see you like that and I say, hey, what are you doing? Are you trying to be a model? Were you an ex-stripper or whatever it is? Your booty cheeks are online. If they're saying they're not a hoe, if they're saying, oh, I'm not like this, I don't normally do this, I'm going to be like, you're a liar. Because you wouldn't even did that. You're a liar. Something doesn't add up.
Right.
So I agree with that. Now, if those women are doing that and they're like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Fuck niggas, I'm a hoe. And I finesse niggas and this and that. I was like, okay, I could respect that. I'm going to stay far away from you.
Like that Sukiana. You know that?
I heard the name.
I don't really know what the hell she does. I don't know if she's a rapper or singer or what, but she says she came from a long line of hoes, from like the Egyptian hoes. Like she was like, hoes been in my family. You never saw that?
I'll mess around with you. I could be cool with you, but I'm not gonna like wife you.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
that's the key component.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just asinine for women to believe that they're going to get this way. And it's like, they're like, oh, but it's not fair. Men can do this. If a man has a high body count, most women won't care. But if a woman has a high body count, a lot of men are going to care. But if you see that you already going to get to that question, run.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't
bother.
even put yourself in that position. So
If it's gonna
like
bother
I
you.
said, men have to ask women. First of all, they gotta approach the women the right way. They gotta study how they dress, like I do. I watch their Instagram and stuff. I see how their attire, whatever. I see how we have conversations. I also see how they interact with me outside.
Right.
Are they rude to the waitress? If we're walking together down New York City Times Square and a homeless man is on the ground, do you like disrespect him or whatever?
Right.
These things I'm keeping mental documentation of. So I'm like,
Mm.
oh, this is a good woman. She worth investing in.
Yeah.
She worth my time. She gonna worth my money possibly. She could be ride or die a wife perhaps one day. I'm like, how many boyfriends you had? When was the longest? Do you have a 5-year plan? I don't even talk about sex. It's like some of these men that are asking for body count, it's a sexual thing.
Yeah.
It has to be like you were saying, the freak thing, because it's like that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they're doing it to be like, all right, she has a high body count. I can fuck that. I could tap it.
Now you could know.
I'm next.
I could know if I can fuck a girl just by looking in her eyes. Like if you know what I mean. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna pursue it, but if you know when somebody finds you attractive or not.
That's true. Okay. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first because y'all two be talking too much. All right. Final thoughts. Is it possible to love more than one partner and equally? I am going to agree a little bit with what the caller said. I think if you're interested in that, that poly lifestyle, that poly relationship, do your research. Make sure that it's something that's going to be beneficial for you and your partner. Because you don't want to, like the caller said, you don't want to bring in more baggage or bad energy to that. Don't just go and get a throuple going and then disrupt somebody else's life who's more serious about it. That's my final thoughts.
I think you could study basketball for
God.
50 years and never take a shot. It don't mean you're the next Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? The only way to know if it's for you is to jump in it personally.
Yeah.
So I think and maybe not jump into it, but bring it up in conversation. Be like, yo, I want to try at least maybe. Let's try to pick somebody up. You know what I mean? Learning about
you
it.
got to talk about it though. You can't just go and be like, oh,
nah,
guess
listen.
He's right.
I think
you gotta.
You could. There's a million things you could be told. You're never gonna know what works for you until you try it.
Yep.
Is that your final thought?
Yeah.
Thank God.
He's right. He's right, man. And some men might see women with multiple baby daddies or more than one child. Oh, she's living a poly relationship. Subconsciously, like their soul believes that. So I might be talking to their soul. They get it. They might not consciously get it, but they get it. Like, wait a minute, that kind of makes sense that what he said, because I'm talking to their subconscious. So that might be a case. But I believe that some people just didn't get along with their parents, perhaps, because there's different scenarios why people get married, and then now they're like, okay, I got eyes for other people. Could be the women, could be the man. Perhaps they were young, traditional household, and it's like she got pregnant, and you're not marrying my daughter, or whatever, living under this roof, being pregnant. You better marry her. Father might say, or let's say they're not even that scenario. It might just be she's getting to that age, and the parents are like, yo, when I was 21, I had already got married. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's going on with you? So now they're forced in it, like Muslim culture and other religions are like arranged marriages.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So because those marriages are kind of arranged, it was never their first choice, and perhaps they didn't get along with their parents and they wanted to get out. So that could be a scenario. And due to not being ready for the marriage falls apart. So some people may have lied to themselves about monogamy. They're probably in denial. Now, have we seen an array of women with more than one man publicly? Have we?
Madonna.
Really? I can't
Have we
remember.
seen a lot of it?
No.
Yeah.
So more than one husband, probably no. Some I believe have to hide it, just like I said in the last show, because they know men, might shame them. That's one. Two, men are not really that agreeable, especially within themselves. Like, hypothetical speaking, like let's say you have a girlfriend, you don't, but let's say you just do to make it interesting, right? You have a girlfriend and you guys it's just a spur of the moment. Tomorrow she tells you, listen, I had this really close guy friend. I was talking to him behind your back. I want you guys to meet. You're gonna be like, what? You guys had sex? No, we didn't have sex. I just sucked his dick though.
Oh my God.
So now you're like, yo, I don't want to meet this nigga. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
what the fuck is going on? Like, you're gonna build anger towards him because you're thinking like, let's just say hypothetical, you're protective or territorial.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So now you take it to the extreme because you're looking at it like, yo, that's my territory, or that's my pussy, or whatever it is. Like, why are other men getting her easy or whatever?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So now the man feels a type of way. And I feel like that's why it doesn't work. It might work not might, but it will work for a man with more than one woman because women are more agreeable and women will get along with other women strangers. Like I know, Sue, you said sometimes it's fake, but they still do it. Even if it is fake. Oh my God, I love your nails. Fake.
Yeah.
But she's still articulating she loves your nails. I could see you across in aisle 8 and I look over at you, you look over at me, and I give you a head nod and I take my stuff and I bounce.
Right.
I don't like most likely 90% of the time I'm not walking up to you, going, hey, Pat, how you doing?
Yeah,
You're a stranger, like unless it's business.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's my business card. But men don't do that.
Right.
Where it's more comfortable for women to just naturally do that. And
At least not on like the first go. Like women, they'll strike up a whole conversation with the waitress, like, oh, whatever.
Mhm.
Like, they'll swap
Yeah.
Instagrams. I could go to the same deli every day, and I'm probably not gonna talk to the guy a real conversation till like the second, third week that
Mhm.
I've been there. Like, hey, you've been coming in here a lot. Like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, blah blah
Mhm.
blah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So due to like polarity being in place, biology and science is like something we can't debate. And if there were two women fighting, just like I said in the last one, so this is the part 2 of the season finale, a man could always break that up because he's just, like just 101. Like has more higher levels of testosterone, so most likely he's going to be bigger. And if a man is already wanting to be with two women, maybe one provides for herself or he provides for the both of them. That's already strength.
Yeah.
That's already a man like being dominant and taking leadership. So 95% of the time he's gonna already have that testosterone. So if these women are, I'm not saying he's abusive. So unhealed people just stop it. Because they do that sometimes. Like people who are unhealed, they just try to like, you could say submission and they're like doormat.
Yeah.
It translates different in their head. So, he's just assertive, he knows how to have a structure and a plan and keep things in order. And they're debating. He could always separate it, even if it was going to become a physical altercation.
Mm.
But if two men, even if they're feminine men, testosterone kicks in because of triggers.
Right.
Like the lion is born to be a lion. Simba in The Lion King went with Timber and
Timon and Pumbaa.
and Pomon and whatever, right?
Timon and Pumbaa.
He was trying to live like them. And then when Nala came to attack them, what did he do?
He turned into a lion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if they're feminine or whatever, there's going to be triggers. Now they start to fight. She gets in the middle. She gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's because she's
plus,
dumb. She
if
says
the man
stand the
is
fuck back.
providing for one or both of them, then you kind of can't fight because then that whatever you're being provided is now taken away because you didn't follow what was the conditions.
Yeah. Two strong women can be with strong men, but two strong men cannot be with strong women, or it doesn't last unless they each have something of themselves, like a side pieces on the side, because the men are territorial and possessive, especially with these caliber of men. Women desire to be in monogamous relationships when they're in a relationship, especially a happy one. So this is like what we talked about earlier. If she's getting everything and she's happy, it's just in her nature to just stick there, because that's how she practices her loyalty through fidelity. Women can learn to not be territorial and possessive by placing their ego and pride aside and be present for that man, for the greater good, for the team, his empire, or just being the helpmate in the dynamic. So due to women practicing hypergamy, I believe women are hypergamous by nature. They are more selective with men. So we had a caller in last episode. She said that, you know, she believes that women, but then she said women are selective. So I'm kind of like, if you're a selective person, you're not just gonna accumulate variety, right? Or wrong? Yeah. So if men aren't really selective, you know, they will accumulate variety. Like you said, a thick one, slim one, Asian, white, you know, those. But but if a woman is selective, she might have a black man only preference.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or Latino only preference or whatever. You know, so men truly desire to lead and take charge in their relationships, not follow. Sharing a woman with another man, you are already deeming her the leader and you plan to follow her. So once again, due to biological design, men are not engineered this way unless they're weaker or submissive. And majority of women aren't sexually aroused psychologically, emotionally, sexually, or physically to men who exude weaker genes or weaker energy than themselves. Men who lack masculinity. Masculinity is the inspiration in femininity. Submission for a woman is the byproduct of dominance in men. If a woman doesn't value you higher than herself, respect you greatly, nothing positive comes from that. So I said this in my first book, The Seduction of Discipline. Women are attracted to the stronger genes, men who have higher values than themselves, and it could even be higher values than their peers. Other men respect him. Other women value him. He has status, character. He's more disciplined than she is, perhaps more intelligent, and who she could learn from. I'm just naming some examples. Therefore, I know this isn't a fair topic. This isn't who is right or wrong or battle of the sexes. This is just reality. Men and women can preach the fictitious or political correct answer if they please, or to avoid arguments or feel shamed. However, due to biology, statistics, science, polarity, they will always be something different or do different or change different from what they say. So, for example, a hardcore feminist, it's a contradiction for her to desire or want to engage with alpha dominant man, because if she's a hardcore feminist, that supposedly is her identity, unless she's lying. So in the public, women power and women rights protected, and this and that, and women first, and we're always right. Right. Behind closed doors, daddy, you first. Daddy, I'm on my knees for you. I want to objectify myself to you. I want to feel inferior. Because feminists don't want to feel inferior. Don't they want to feel equal or higher? Right?
Yeah, this cut out.
No way.
Yeah, it's not picking up anything anymore.
Maybe because you.
I'm not unplugged.
Oh my lord, that's a sign.
Oh, there we go.
That's a sign.
Do you agree?
Say it again.
Like, if women are, damn, I went in a whole spill now.
You see, it's because we got to cut people.
No. We're gonna finish this.
I'm hungry.
What was I saying?
This is so awesome.
If women are, shoot, hold on. What was I saying? Oh, the hardcore feminist. I'm sorry. So the hardcore feminist.
Oh, I agree, because a hardcore feminist, a woman could put hands on a man and nobody says anything, but the second he punches her in the face, all the hardcore feminists are gonna be like, yo, what? He's wilding. No way, he didn't just do that.
Yeah.
But you hit me first.
Mm-hmm. And then now,
not me, but the man.
Yeah, so
I don't do that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it might even be. So now she's putting all this out there, right, about women and all this and inferiority. And then she's like, dominance is bad. There's a toxic masculinity. Behind closed doors, dominate me, daddy. Mm-hmm. Beat the shit out of me in the bedroom. That turns me on. she wants to be degraded. You see what I'm saying? So like that's what it comes down to when I was saying what was I saying? I was saying you know, even though what they say because they want to avoid arguments or they don't want to be shamed, they can't fight polarity. They can't fight science. They will say something but do different. So the spiritual woman might say, "Don't date toxic men."
Mm-hmm.
But the guy behind closed doors got the best dick you ever had. So you keep him around.
That makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? You're not living your authentic self because the reality is you're attracted to dominance.
Right.
But publicly, why won't you say that? Because it's not popular.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Whereas more men will go against the grain. They're not agreeable. Like, I'm gonna keep talking about this until you unfollow me. I don't care to lose you because I got a job to do. But women are more inclined to, damn, they're throwing stones at me. I might get depression. I might cry. I don't like that other women don't like me. So let me just keep quiet. I want to hold women accountable, but I don't want women to say negative things because they're gonna attack me more.
Right.
Men will be, yeah, submission, yes, be feminine. We love that. Where is she? Give her a medal. But women are gonna be like, yo, why are you doing that shit? We supposed to be strong.
You're
girl
a pick
code.
me. You're a pick me if
Pick
you do that.
me. Yeah.
That's what they call them.
All righty then. So thank you for joining us once again on the Listening Therapy podcast.
Peace.